Today I will talk about the Occupational Safety and Health Act. This Act enacted on 25 February 1994. This Act contains 67 sections, 15 parts, and is dependent on 3 schedules. The parts that I will talk about is 43 until 45. This section is contained in parts 11. It is about the enforcement and investigation. The part 43 is about the further provision in relation to inspections. The 44 is about the power of investigations, and lastly 45 is about the power to examine the witnesses. First, the further provision in relation to inspection. It is about upon entering of any workplace, the Commissioner of Safety and Health should take responsibility to notify the employer and the Safety and Health Committee of the entry. Next, the section 44, it is about the power of investigations. An officer had the power of investigate conduct which carries an offence under the Act or regulations prescribed under the Act. Lastly, it is about the power to examine the witnesses. This section is about how the officer examines a witnesses called according to the section chosen by the persons. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Every section has emphasis. For section 43, upon entering any place of work, every official shall take all reasonable steps to notify the employer and the Safety and Health Committee of the entry. This means that every time the employee is entering the workplace, the official should always tell the employer and the Safety and Health Committee of the entry. For section 44, an official had the power to investigate conduct which carries an offence under the Act or regulation prescribed under the Act. An officer may conduct any investigation with the police in event of the offence committed in connection with under this Act or regulation made thereunder. For section 45, this section is about how an official examines a witness called according to the section chosen by the person. For an officer making an investigation under section 39 or 44 may examine orally any person who appear to him to be acquainted with the fact and circumstance of the case, because if the person may refuse to answer any question, the answer to which would tend to expose him to criminal charges or penalty or forfeiture.
Next, I will talk about the importance of this section. The first one is to prevent miscommunication between the employer, employee, and also the Safe and Health Committee. It is because the officer of the Safety and Health, the Commissioner Safety and Health Officer, purpose to take and remove the sample of work to take the analysis, and he or she also have to notify the employer and the Safe and Health Committee about the samples, should give the sample to them. And next, it's also to prevent injuries and illness, because the section 43 means that the officer have to do the inspections of the workplace so that it is safe to the employer to come in and did the work in the places before the employer come in. And lastly, it also to prevent additional costs and delays, because if outside persons is called to investigate the incidents, it may take a lot of time and it also cost highly, because they have to pay twice than the salary of the officer, means that it take a lot of time and it also take a lot of money. So this section given the power to a commissioner safety and health officer to This section can be used when there is a accident like this happen. It is because when there is accident happen, the officer of the occupational safety and health who is responsible to make sure the safety of the employee and notify it to the employer must use their power to investigate the situation that happens to find the truth behind the accident so the factor of the accident happen can be found and is used to prevent another same accident occur again. Investigate the incidents without taking a lot of time. And that's all from me. Thank you.
The act utilization can be benefit to the employer and the employee. It is because the safety is being monitored by the officer who is responsible to notify the employer and the safety and health committee of the entry. This is also can be lead to prevent from any incidents to happen in the workplace. The act utilization can be benefit to the company too because if there are options made by the employer, the officer who is responsible in investigate of any option under this act or any regulation made thereunder can be investigate thoroughly with a short amount of time. The summary from all this explanation is Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 is not held without a special purpose. In fact, it has been enacted by the Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong with the advice and consent of the Dewan Negara and Dewan Rakyat in Parliament Assembled. This is because
Lastly, I will talk about the acknowledgement and the reference. The reference is that I got from the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 from the PowerPoint and also the slide that given by the professor. And the acknowledgement is that I got a lot of knowledge from this section, from this part, and from this act. It's a guideline for all the people to use